Okay, let's go again. So, 2 wins in a row this afternoon. Putting me at 2146. Getting close to that peak rating again, 2159. It's tough. I invite you to try this on the ICC, this 15-minute auto pairing. Pretty tough to get a high rating on it. Okay, while we're waiting. By the way, if you're not in my sim@chessworld.net, you know, just all you need to do really, if you're registered and you put YouTube or King's Crusher, then just log in again and I'll pick you up for an invitation. Otherwise, follow the link in the description of my last, pardon me, hiccups, simultaneous video. So, who's playing? Tiny Monster is playing. You can observe Tiny Monster against Drunken Knight. I think this is Chris. Oh, I shouldn't say his name unless he shows it. Yes, he shows it. Chris Duncan. I know him from the Hearts League. Strong FIDE master. I've got an excellent over-the-board record against Chris. As far as players under 200 ECF, I've been exceptionally lucky to beat him 2 or 3 times across the years. Okay, so E4. Let's close that one. So Lander. Let's play Open Sicilian, I think, or Wingambit. What about Wingambit for a laugh? I haven't played that for a while. Sometimes that I thought that got sort of good positions in 5-minute. Sometimes. Oh, not taking the material. What's his history like? Okay, it's a bit scattered results. So I can get. Would that amplify my initiative? I would expect it would. Being white, that there's more exploitable weaknesses against black because there's like less pieces on holiday, more initiative, less pieces on holiday. So opening up this line, the diagonal looks a bit exposed. Bishop c4 immediately threatens almost bishop d5 and b5 though, so it might be worth keeping that on the cards. Bishop c4 does seem like an interesting move. Queen h5 and then queen d5 would hit. Bishop c4. Yes, what about just bishop c4? So there's a sort of threat of bishop d5 and b5. If e6 takes and then takes. Or queen h5 and queen d5. Or bishop f7, queen h5. g6, queen d5 to win the rook. Okay, I guess it does offer the advantage of bishop b7. But I've got bishop b2 now as well if I want to clamp down on g6. Taking does release a bit of tension here. If he wastes another move taking the pawn, I get more pieces out. As I say, less pieces on holiday, more exploitable weaknesses maybe. Okay, so bishop b2, if I just put that bishop there, offer this one. That would be a big initiative, surely. Or he could be tempted in this position to take knight f3 d5, maybe check. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? I've got a lot of pressure already on f7 and g7. I think the opening looks good already here. Possibly I'm being optimistic, but these look good, these guys. So knight f3, then if bishop e4, there's bishop f7 and knight g5. If bishop e4, knight f3, if d5, bishop b5. Okay. I think just knight f3, so he's not really moving his bits out. Bits are on holiday at the moment. So queen e2 also, or just castle and rook e1. So if he ever plays bishop f3, another piece comes out. I like this. This is looking juicy already in this position. Because he's opened up the semi-open file now against his king. Okay, so if I just castle, if he ever plays d5, this bishop b5 and knight e5. Let's play rook e1. His development's a bit inhibited at the moment. Can't move the bishop for bishop g7. This bishop f6. But I want to play rook e1. If takes d5, okay. So I'll play rook e1 here. I'm threatening bishop f6. Maybe rook e4, but he's got this. Okay. So is he going to achieve a solid position here? Is he going to be able to consolidate this extra pawn he's taken in the centre? Now I've got b5 if I want to gain a tempo. Knight e5. Knight e5 looks good just to grab that light square bishop. b5, does that really have any perks? Bishop d5 is bishop f6, bishop d5. So if b5, bishop b7, I've got control of c6. Let's say knight e5 there, d5. I haven't got anything to write home about there. Knight e5, let's say bishop e7. b5 there, bishop b7 again. I don't know. Well, there's d4 here. Has this any advantage, this b5, bishop b7? Is he going to take on b4? Knight e5, does it actually threaten knight f7? Takes. There's a pin there. I think it inhibits development again, actually. If I play b5 development, mind you, the knight's already inhibited. So actually, I don't know. Knight e5 or b5? That's the question. If bishop e7, let's follow this again. Maybe I can swing the rook. I think ruling out cb is fun, so I'll rule that out. So I'll play knight e5 and swing a rook in for the attack. I think rook e3 to h3 when he castles. Take it from there. Rely on this one, this one, this one. These ones. 1, 2, 3. Queen can come into h5 later. So knight e5, rook e3 to h3. But mind you, d5, and it's going to be d5 and c4. Maybe. Forcing move doesn't do anything. Knight e5, d5. So what about d4 for d5? Okay, I think d4. I'm trying to get in. Well, avoid this d pawn being blocked. Now, if d5, he blocks in his own bishop. Bishop d3, c4 is blocking in his own bishop. But otherwise, that bishop's on a fine diagonal. Then maybe c4 later to stop c4 from black. Just to leave this bishop as another attacking piece against the king. So the king castles over here. I want this one, this one, this one, this one. All on the king. If he ever shuts down this bishop with c4, put the bishop back here. It's got a shut down bishop. Okay, let's tempt that. Because I think e5 will be fun to use. He does dislocate my pawn, but e5, knight e5, f4. Then swing the rook in with rook e3 to h3. If he doesn't do that, I think c4. Okay, c4 here just to keep the bishop active. Maybe even knight c3 or knight d2. Get this one over here. Change your plan a bit from the rook. Knight d2 would support c4. Okay. So knight d2, just supporting central tension here. Now knight e5 takes, dislodging actually e4. That knight's also supporting this. Mind you, cd bishop d4, or knight c6. Knight e5. I think knight e5. Mind you, he is undermining the centre. What about d takes? Knight takes c5, bishop c2. I think that's probably best to allow him the knight on there. Oh, knight e4. Oh, there. Maybe this is bad. This is looking bad. I'll go for knight e5, hoping for the best. But I'm not sure about this attack anymore. Or is there an attack? Queen c2, rook e3 to h3. Or knight c6, trying to grab the light square bishop. Okay. So knight c6, just trying to grab the light square bishop, takes knight c5. It's not particularly pleasant. So we'll let bishop d4 instead. I think bishop d4 then. So I'm just a pawn down. It shouldn't be that severe to just be a pawn down, but don't know. Maybe it is. If I can get this rook in for the attack, it would be more promising. There'd be bishop h7, knight takes, queen h5. Would he give me time for that rook swing? Rook swing. Knight c5, hitting the bishop. Bishop c2. There's knight ce4, takes. So, okay, deep think here. Is he looking at knight c5, bishop c2? I've got sufficient control on e4 at the moment. If knight takes e5, bishop takes. Oh, okay. Can I just reinforce e5 then with knight? No, these bishops are all hanging, aren't they? Knight takes e5, or bishop e5. So maybe knight c4 is possible. Just about. What about knight c5? Then I've got bits hanging. Or have I? Probably. Bishop c2 just about holds things. Of knight c5. Holding the bishop. So if knight e5. Whoa. Bishop takes e5, I'm holding with the queen. So I think this is not losing a piece. I'm hoping I'm not losing a piece here. Oh dear, oh dear. If I can get away with this, I've got knight c6 as compensation. So knight c5, bishop c2. Okay, I can't play knight takes. Queen takes as bishop h7. I can play knight takes, and it's worth considering knight takes. In fact, knight takes might be one of the better moves now. Knight takes e5 just to retain knight c6. I'll play it. Mind you, there's Queen D5 hitting G2. Knight F3 if I need to defend D4. Rook D8, Rook E5. So G5 might be good to evict that queen. It's getting a bit short of time. So Knight F3, I think. I suppose I should have considered Knight C6 there. But this Rook E5 looks like bringing in some more attack to the king. The bishops are nicely pointed in the right direction, but need some more artillery. I think Rook E5 to G5, Queen D2, Rook G7, King G7, Queen G5, that sort of thing, if given the chance. So, will he allow Rook E5? That's the question immediately. Rook E5. Rook E5 here. There's no Queen F3 or anything. Queen D4. Right, get this guy in with Rook G5. So Rook G5 ties down the knight maybe. E5. I can play Rook takes E5. Well, there's Bishop takes F3 on the cards now. So I've got pieces hanging, unfortunately. Oh dear. Pieces are hanging on the D file. How embarrassing. Let's go for Rook G5, Bishop F3, Queen F3, Queen D4. Oh, it's dropping a piece. How embarrassing. That's a real shame. Something's dropping on the D file. Brutal. No way of losing a piece here all of a sudden. Rook C1 for Rook C7s. Not really that convincing. Dear oh dear. That really is bad. Bad news, yeah. Can't see any way not to lose a piece. Bishop, what about Bishop E2? Hold on a sec. Bishop E2 takes on E8. I think that's the only way. Found a way. Might have found a way to avoid losing a piece. That's a bit of relief. Oh, blimey. I thought the D file was troublesome. Oh dear. It's an emergent threat unveiled of Bishop F3. Very destructive. Bishop E2 also has the benefit of protecting D1. Maybe back on track here. Lost a lot of time there finding Bishop E2. So Bishop B2 next, or Queen move over here or something, just to keep protection on D4. Looks like an idea. So break this pin away, get away from this pin. Okay, he's gone for this. Okay. Oh, now I'm losing a piece again, am I? Oh dear, oh dear. No, hang on, the queen's protected. If I just move the bishop, not yet losing a piece, I hope. So bishop e3, just to keep an idea on c1. Bishop e3 as queen c7 or something. Or yeah, that does actually hit my queen and e5. So bishop b2 instead. Probably lesser evil time. Bishop b2. Just about holding. Oof, scary stuff. If I get a chance, maybe bishop, or take some bishop c6. So we're both using quite a percentage of available time, which isn't that much at the moment. So much for my attacking intentions, all torn to shreds because of this d-file issue. Pieces standing on the d-file. So queen d1, rook d1. Rook c2 looks pretty painful, but rook d8, bishop d8. Ah, that was totally unexpected. Okay. Guess he's going to double on the 7th or something. I'll just take that pesky queen off for a moment. Maybe bishop c1 off, there's no rook d1. Evict the rook. And then bishop e3 or something. Well, there's rook a2 there. Rook a2, rook c1. I think I ought to play that anyway. Rook, queen takes, rook takes. Doesn't seem as though there's much else appetizing here. I suppose there's queen b1, but then rook c2, then rook e2. So queen b1 might be possible. Yes, queen b1, rook e2, rook b2, it's queen b2. I don't think there's a back row deflection. I suppose there's queen b3. I should really hurry up, this is getting short on time. Queen b3 might be good. So rook c2, rook e2, rook b2, rook e2, d2, takes. Okay, let's go for queen b3. Just keep some tension in the position. My back row looks vulnerable here. At least my queen is protected. So rook e2, is it crunch time? That's queen d1, that's almost back row, rook e1. I got rook e1. I'm hoping. So okay, now queen d2, rook a d1, and my bishop's protecting that d1 square. Oh, there's f2 is on, and that's unpleasant. So what about? I haven't got too many options. Maybe bishop f6, inviting queen f2, taking a draw. Rook f1 up, just losing a piece. So bishop f6 looks dangerous, but after rook f1, queen moves to d1, d2, there's rook d1. Queen moves to c3. Let's just check this. Is it an implicit draw offer with queen d1 for a sec? Yeah, I've got too many options there. So I can play bishop f6 if I want to play on. Queen f2, king h1, bishop f6. There's rook f1 there. And then rook d1. Okay, let's do this. Invite disaster. Objectively, I think I should have gone for a draw, actually. I'm immediately regretting it. Let's just offer a draw. Oh, let's just let him win. It looks very bad. In fact, he can play bishop a1 here. Oh dear. Getting back row issue. Bishop a1. Offer a draw. Now well-timed draw. No, I don't think he's going to accept it somehow. He's got bishop a1. Whoops. Okay, so there's rook. Okay, he hasn't accepted it for some reason. So rook ad1. That looks as though it's silly. Let's give me rook ad1, but gets my rook out of the firing line. So queen c3. Opposite coloured bishops. Could be tricky. So queen takes here. Okay, so bishop c6 here. Oh dear, what a disaster of a game. Really. What a disaster to get this position. What about g3 now? King g2. Try and get the king across. He's going to play rook c2. Pain doesn't end. Like maybe h3. Get the king out. He's going to play bishop e5 or something. Right, end up losing another pawn. Okay, I think I've just got to get my king out, whatever I do. Try and get the king out. Right, so can I salvage a draw from this with time pressure or something? A6 maybe I'll take, rook c6, a7, rook c8, rook b8 there. Okay, this is being tested now. Takes rook c6, a7. So he plays rook c8, rook b7. That looks good. Takes rook c6, a7, rook c8, rook b7. Bishop. Goes rook b8. Takes a8's check. Oh, he's offered the draw. I think I'm tempted to accept it in light of that, because I don't think that variation works. Take a7, rook c8, rook b8, and then he can stop that bishop e5, and if rook b8, well, he actually just takes. So I think I'll accept the draw. Bail out. Okay. Disaster game. Yeah, a bit optimistic, yeah? D-file disaster. All the pieces hanging. Nearly losing a piece. Did try there to carry on the game a bit, but it's a hopeless position. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks very much.